Story 1. The Last Signal. A faint radio crackle broke the silence in the bunker. Mia, the last technician, adjusted the dials frantically. The world above had gone quiet weeks ago. She whispered, "Anyone there?" into the void. No response, just static, but she refused to give up. Her fingers trembled, tuning for a signal. A voice, gobbled, distant, finally answered, "We're here." Her heart raced with hope. The voice described a sanctuary, a place untouched by the chaos. Mia scribbled coordinates, her hands shaking. She packed her gear, ready to leave the bunker. The signal was her lifeline. Outside, the world was ash, but the coordinates pointed north. Mia stepped into the wasteland. Each step echoed with the voice's promise. She had to believe it was real. The signal faded as she climbed a dune, but Mia kept walking. A faint light glowed ahead. Was it the sanctuary or a trick? She'd find out soon enough. Story 2. The Clockmaker's Secret. Old Man Harrow wound the shop's ancient clock carefully. Its ticks were the heartbeat of the village. Every night, he whispered to it, "Keep their time safe." Nobody knew why. Years ago, he'd built it with a hidden compartment. Inside was a letter, sealed, never opened. It held the truth about the village's lost day. Harrow guarded it fiercely. A curious girl, Lila, snuck in one night, eyeing the clock. She found the compartment, her fingers brushing the letter. Harrow caught her, his eyes soft but stern. He told her the letter held a curse, binding time itself. If opened, days would vanish again. Lila backed away, promising silence. The clock ticked louder that night. Harrow died years later, and Lila became the clockmaker. She never touched the letter. The village's time stayed safe. Some secrets are heavier than truth. Story 3. The Astronaut's Garden. Commander Lee floated in the station, staring at Earth. Her only company was a tiny sprout in a pod. She'd smuggled the seed aboard, defying protocol. It was her anchor. Each day, she misted it, whispering, "Grow for me." The sprout thrived in zero gravity. Earth's wars raged below, visible through the station's window. She ignored them. The sprout became a vine, curling around her tools. Mission Control radioed, demanding focus. Lee lied, saying the plant was an experiment. They didn't need to know. One night, the vine bloomed, glowing faintly. Lee cried, seeing hope in its petals. Earth's fires dimmed in her mind. The flower was her new world now. When her mission ended, she left the vine behind. New astronauts arrived, awestruck. The garden lived on, a secret shared by those who'd seen Earth burn. Story 4. The Painter's Final Stroke. Elena's canvas was blank, mocking her for weeks. Her gallery show was tomorrow night. She clutched her brush, whispering, "Show me something real." The room felt alive. At midnight, colors bled from her dreams onto the canvas. She painted a city, alive, pulsating. Each stroke felt like it wasn't hers. The painting consumed her. By dawn, the canvas showed a utopia, perfect yet eerie. Elena stepped back, trembling. The gallery owner gasped, calling it genius. She didn't mention its whispers. The painting sold for millions, but Elena never painted again. It had taken her soul. Visitors swore the canvas moved at night. Elena knew it was true. Years later, the painting hung in a museum, still whispering. Nobody listened closely enough. Elena's final stroke had trapped something alive. It waited patiently. Story 5. The Librarian's Map. Mr. Gray dusted the library's oldest book daily. It wasn't listed in any catalog. He'd found it as a boy, hidden behind a shelf. Its pages showed a map. The map led to a place called Nowhere, unmarked on any globe. Gray memorized every line, never daring to follow. He told no one, fearing its power. A girl, Sarah, caught him tracing the map one night. She begged to know its secret. Gray hesitated, then showed her. Her eyes lit with adventure. They planned to find Nowhere, packing only essentials. The map's path twisted through forests and dreams. They reached a door in the hills, glowing faintly. Sarah stepped through, but Gray stayed behind. The door vanished. He returned to the library, alone. The book was blank now, but he still dusted it. Story 6. The Baker's Ghost. Every morning, Clara kneaded dough in her empty bakery. At night, a ghost appeared, rolling phantom loaves. She called him Tom, though he never spoke. He just baked. Tom's presence brought customers, drawn to the warmth. Clara never told them why. She'd found his name in an old recipe book, dated 1890. He'd owned the shop. One night, Tom pointed to a hidden oven brick. Clara pried it open, finding a locket. Inside was a photo of a woman, smiling. Tom's eyes softened. Clara buried the locket where Tom's house once stood. He didn't appear again. The bakery stayed warm, though. Customers swore they tasted love in her bread. Years later, Clara retired, passing the shop on. The new baker felt a presence. Clara smiled, saying nothing. Some ghosts leave gifts behind. Story 7. The Diver's Discovery. Lara dove into the Pacific, chasing a glint below. The ocean was her second home. The glint wasn't treasure but a metal sphere, pulsing faintly. She reached for it. It hummed, warming her gloved hand. Her radio crackled. Her team warned of a storm. Lara ignored them, mesmerized. The sphere projected images, alien seas, strange creatures. She surfaced, clutching it, but the storm hit hard. Her boat capsized, and the sphere sank. Lara swam to shore, haunted by what she'd seen. She told no one. Years later, she dove again, searching for the sphere. The ocean was silent, empty. She found only coral where it had been. The images never left her. Lara became a storyteller, weaving tales of alien seas. Listeners thought it fiction. She knew better. The ocean still whispered the sphere's secrets to her. Story 8. The Pianist's Silence. Eli played the piano in an empty hall nightly. His fingers danced, but no sound came. The keys were cursed, he believed. He played to break the spell. As a boy, he'd heard music from this piano, enchanted. Now, it mocked him with silence. He'd promised his mother he'd make it sing again. He never stopped trying. One night, a note rang out, sharp and clear. Eli froze, then played faster. The hall filled with melody, rich and alive. His mother's face flashed in his mind. The music stopped as dawn broke, keys silent again. Eli wept, knowing it was enough. The hall stayed empty, but the piano's curse was broken. He'd kept his promise. Eli never played again, but he smiled daily. Passers-by swore they heard faint music. The piano held his mother's song. It would never be silent again. Story 9. The Weaver's Thread. Mira wove tapestries that told futures, she claimed. Villagers paid for glimpses of fate. Her loom hummed, threads glowing faintly. Nobody questioned her gift. Each night, she wove her own future, seeing darkness. She hid this, smiling for customers. One thread, red and pulsing, always appeared. It scared her deeply. A stranger came, asking for his fate. Mira wove, but the red thread dominated. He saw it, gasped, and fled. That night, her loom burned down mysteriously. Mira rebuilt, but the red thread never returned. Her visions grew vague, useless. Villagers stopped coming, sensing her gift was gone. She didn't mind the quiet. Years later, the stranger returned, now old. He thanked her for the warning. Mira nodded, weaving only cloth now. Some threads change everything. Story 10. The Hiker's Compass. Jonas hiked the mountain with a broken compass. It spun wildly, never pointing north. He kept it, a gift from his late father. It felt like a guide. Deep in the fog, it spun faster, glowing faintly. Jonas followed its needle blindly. He found a cave, warm and lit, impossible in the storm. He entered. Inside, voices whispered his father's stories, long forgotten. The compass steadied, pointing to a stone. Jonas dug, finding a journal, his father's, filled with love. He left the cave, compass still. The storm had cleared, stars above. Jonas read the journal, tears falling. His father's words were the true guide. Jonas kept hiking, compass in pocket. It never worked right again. He didn't need it to. The mountain had given him his father back. Story 11. The Photographer's Lens. Tessa's camera captured more than images. At night, her photos showed shadows moving. She called them echoes, never telling clients. They paid for portraits, not ghosts. One photo showed a child, not in the original shot. Tessa traced the family, finding tragedy. The child had died years ago. The photo shook her deeply. She burned it, but the child appeared in every shot. Tessa stopped shooting, fearing the lens. Clients begged for her work, unaware of her terror. She hid the camera. Months later, she tried again, lens trembling. The child was gone, replaced by peace. Tessa shot again, cautiously. Her photos were normal now, almost. Tessa's work became legend, hinting at the unseen. She never spoke of the child. The lens kept her secret. Some truths stay in the frame. Story 12. The Fisherman's Net. Old Kai cast his net into the misty lake. It always came back heavy, but empty. He whispered to the water, "Give me your truth." The lake stayed silent. One dawn, the net caught a glowing orb. Kai held it, feeling memories flood in. They weren't his, lovers, wars, lives long gone. The orb pulsed warmly. He hid it in his hut, fearing its power. Each night, it showed him more. Kai saw the lake's history, its drowned village. He wept for them all. Kai returned the orb to the lake, his net lighter. The water shimmered, thanking him. He fished no more, but told the village stories. They listened, awestruck. The lake stayed quiet after that, nets empty. Kai smiled, knowing its secrets. The orb was safe below. Some catches are meant to be freed. Story 13. The Tailor's Needle. Lena sewed in her shop, needle flashing. Her stitches held more than thread. Customers swore her clothes changed them. Lena only smiled, never explaining. Her needle was ancient, passed from her grandmother. It pricked her once, showing visions. She sewed futures into fabric, guiding wearers. She never told a soul. A man came, asking for a suit for luck. Lena stitched, seeing his path. The needle wove success, but also loss. She hesitated, then finished the suit. He wore it, thriving, then vanished one day. Lena heard he'd lost everything. She blamed the needle, hiding it. Her shop grew quiet, her gift gone. Lena found the needle years later, rusted. She sewed again, plain stitches now. Customers still felt magic. Lena knew it was her, not the needle. Story 14. The Runner's Path. Tara ran the forest trail at dawn. Her shoes hit dirt, heart pounding. She ran to forget her grief. The path seemed to shift, leading her deeper. One morning, it took her to a clearing, unknown. A stone marker stood, engraved with her name. Tara froze, touching it. It felt warm, alive. The marker whispered memories, her mother's voice, laughing. Tara ran back, shaken but lighter. The clearing was gone the next day. She searched but never found it. She kept running, the path normal again. Her grief eased, the marker's gift. Tara felt her mother in every step. The forest held her close now. Years later, Tara ran with her daughter. She told her of the marker. The girl listened, eyes wide. The path stayed steady, but Tara felt its magic. Story 15. The Mechanic's Machine. Rico fixed cars in his dusty garage. One machine, old and rusted, never worked. He kept it, feeling it watched him. He called it the ghost, half joking. Late nights, it hummed, lights flickering. Rico saw blueprints in his dreams, impossible designs. He rebuilt the ghost, following them. It roared to life, glowing. The machine moved on its own, fixing cars. Rico watched, awestruck, as it welded perfectly. He hid it from customers, fearing questions. The ghost was his secret. One day, it stopped, its light fading. Rico dismantled it, finding a note inside. It read, "Build better." His grandfather's handwriting. Rico's hands shook. Rico kept working, inspired by the ghost. His cars were flawless now. Customers called him a genius. He knew the real genius was long gone. Story 16. The Dancer's Mirror. Anya danced alone in the studio, mirrors watching. Her reflection moved differently sometimes. She ignored it, focusing on her steps. The mirrors knew her heart. One night, her reflection paused, beckoning her. Anya followed, touching the glass. It rippled, showing her younger self, dancing with joy. She'd forgotten that feeling. The mirror showed her failures, then her triumphs. Anya cried, seeing her life. She danced again, freer, the reflection matching perfectly. The studio felt alive. She never saw the visions again, but she changed. Her performances drew crowds, raw and real. The mirrors stayed normal, but Anya felt their gaze. Anya taught others to dance, sharing her fire. Students swore the mirrors sparkled. She never told them why. Some reflections hold your soul. Story 17. The Farmer's Seed. Old Mara planted a seed in barren soil. The village laughed, calling it futile. She watered it daily, whispering, "Grow for us." The ground stayed hard. One night, a sprout broke through, glowing faintly. Mara guarded it, telling no one. By dawn, it was a tree, heavy with fruit. The village gasped, silent. The fruit fed them all, sweet and endless. Mara shared, but kept the tree's secret. She'd found the seed in a dream, sent by the earth. It wasn't hers. The tree grew for years, then withered suddenly. Mara buried its last seed, praying. The soil stayed barren again. She smiled, knowing it had been enough. The village thrived, remembering Mara's gift. Children planted seeds, hoping. None grew like hers. The earth kept that miracle for her alone. Story 18. The Writer's Pen. Eliot's pen scratched paper, ink flowing. It wrote stories he didn't plan. He called it possessed, laughing nervously. The stories always came true. One night, it wrote of a fire, his house. Eliot stopped, burning the page. The pen kept writing, describing a stranger saving him. He locked it away. Days later, a fire sparked, just as written. A neighbor pulled him out, unharmed. Eliot retrieved the pen, trembling. It felt heavier, alive. He wrote again, cautious, guiding the stories. They shaped his life, love, loss, hope. The pen never lied, but it chose what to show. Eliot died, pen in hand, his last story unfinished. His daughter found it, reading. She continued, her words true too. The pen chose her next. Story 19. The Chef's Recipe. Leah cooked in her tiny restaurant, alone. Her mother's recipe book guided her. One dish, unmarked, smelled of memory. She cooked it, heart pounding. The scent drew strangers, filling the tables. They ate, eyes wet, remembering home. Leah never asked why. The recipe wasn't hers, it belonged to them all. She cooked it nightly, the book's pages yellowing. One page tore, revealing a note. Her mother's handwriting, "Feed their souls." Leah understood now. The dish became legend, but Leah grew tired. She taught her son the recipe. He cooked, the scent the same. The restaurant never emptied. Leah watched him, proud, the book retired. Customers still cried, tasting love. The recipe lived on. Some flavors carry the past forever. Story 20. The Pilot Star. Captain Wren flew her jet through storms. A single star always guided her. She called it hers, though it wasn't on charts. It never failed her. One night, it pulsed, brighter, moving. Wren followed, defying her instruments. The jet shook, but she trusted the star. It led her to clear skies. Her crew asked why she veered off course. Wren lied, saying instinct. The star vanished by dawn, leaving her shaken. She flew straighter after that. Years later, retired, she saw it again. It blinked over her house, steady. Wren smiled, knowing it watched her. She never told anyone its secret. Her granddaughter became a pilot, fearless. Wren pointed to the sky one night. The star was there. It would guide her too, always. Story 21. The Gardener's Rose. Finn tended roses in a crumbling estate. One bush, ancient, never bloomed. He sang to it daily, hoping. It was his father's favorite, still alive. One spring, a bud appeared, blood-red. Finn watched, breathless, as it opened. The petals glowed faintly, whispering his father's voice. He nearly wept. The roses sent Drew visitors, awestruck. Finn shared clippings, but none bloomed like his. He guarded the bush, fearing its magic would fade. It never did. When Finn died, the rose wilted, petals falling. His daughter replanted it, singing. A new bud grew, glowing again. The estate felt alive once more. The rose became legend, drawing gardeners. They sang to it, hoping for magic. Finn's daughter smiled. Some roses carry a soul forever. Story 22. The Sculptor's Stone. Clara chipped at stone in her cold studio. One block resisted, unyielding. She felt it watching, alive. She carved anyway, whispering, "Show me your shape." By night, it took form, a face, not hers. Clara recognized it, her lost brother. The stone wept dust as she finished. She didn't show anyone. The sculpture drew crowds, sensing its pain. Clara covered it, fearing questions. At night, it whispered his voice, begging release. She couldn't let go. She moved it to her garden, hidden away. The face softened, peaceful now. Clara carved again, but nothing matched it. The stone held her brother's soul. Years later, her son found it, awestruck. Clara told him the truth. He carved too, searching for his uncle. The stone stayed silent, but watching. Story 23. The Teacher's Book. Miss Vera read to her class from an old book. Its stories changed each day. She never questioned it, nor did the children. They loved its magic. One tale spoke of a lost child, like her son. Vera paused, voice breaking. The book's pages turned on their own, showing his face. She hid it. The children asked for more, sensing its power. Vera read, but skipped that story. At night, the book glowed, whispering his name. She locked it away. Years later, a student found it, reading aloud. The lost child's story returned. Vera cried, feeling him near. The book closed, its work done. The class grew up, remembering the stories. They swore the book knew them. Vera retired, book in hand. It stayed silent, but she felt its warmth. Story 24. The Sailor's Map. Captain Tor drew maps of uncharted seas. One map, ancient, showed an island nobody found. He sailed for it, whispering, "Take me there." The crew trusted him. The map glowed under starlight, guiding them. Storms raged, but Tor held course. An island appeared, golden, impossible. The crew cheered, awestruck. They landed, finding ruins, alive with whispers. Tor touched a stone, seeing visions, his ancestors' lives. The map burned away, its purpose done. He wept. The crew left, richer in spirit, not gold. Tor never spoke of the island. His new maps lacked its spark. The sea kept that secret safe. Tor's son sailed years later, seeking it. The sea stayed empty. Tor smiled, knowing why. Some maps lead only once. Story 25. The Poet's Words. Lila wrote poems in a crumbling attic. Her words glowed faintly on paper. She hid them, fearing their power. They spoke truths she didn't know. One poem predicted a stranger's arrival. He came, reading it, eyes wide. Lila burned the page, scared. The stranger left, but her words lingered. She wrote again, words shaping futures. Each poem changed someone's life. Lila shared them cautiously, anonymously. The town called her a prophet. Her last poem spoke of peace, then silence. Lila stopped writing, content. The town kept her words, reciting them. They felt alive, always. Lila's daughter found her notebook, glowing. She wrote, feeling the power. The words flowed again. Some poems never stop speaking.